They try to push forward. He'll wind up getting 3 yards with that one. Poona Ford is there to bring him down.
2nd and 6.
Here's a 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
They'll go play action with Stroud. They'll find his big target, the tight end Stokes. He'll be out of bounds, but after picking up the first down on a gain of 7.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up the first down.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. 14 on the pickup. It's good for a Texans first down.
Texans first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Off the play fake. Here's Stroud. Moving to his left. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away. And that'll set up 2nd down.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, and they'll play another down. They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You could see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
From the gun, here's Stroud. Headed left, behind time. And that is incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for 3rd down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack. And this is the danger of trying these long field goals. Remember, Mike, if you miss, the other team gets the ball at the spot of the kick. So it's going to end up setting them up for great field position as they start this next drive.
They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. And that's going nowhere. Thrown down. Literally and awkwardly. Right at the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 42-yard line.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 9. They go jet sweep and give it to Adams. And this defense having nothing of it. They get him down for a loss on the play.
Tried to get a little cute here, get the ball to the hands of one of their receivers in space on a jet motion, but really nice job there by the defense. When you can set good edges and you can have good force players on the perimeter of the defense, there's really...
He's hit after the catch, and the ball comes free. The Texans have it. One of those exciting moments in a football game. There is a turnover and a fumble, and all of a sudden the guys who were on defense, they're starting to think like offensive players, Greg. They really wanted to take that back the other way.
And I think for that offense, they're fortunate that didn't lead to a touchdown, because for a minute, I thought the defender was going to take it all the way back. But either way, winds up with a pretty nice return, and his offense is in great position.
On 1st down, it's Marks. Good blocking to the 15. And he is out of bounds. A pickup there of 13. 1st down for Houston.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
He'll go again with Marks. And he's in. Woody Marks. Touchdown, Houston.
You just don't see these kind of holes too often at this NFL level, Mike. And you can see once he got the ball, the clear line to the end zone, he doesn't get touched. And an unfortunate defensive breakdown here ends up costing him 6 points.
Texans 14, Rams nothing. Kaimi Fairbairn to kick
And
off
so
for
after the
Houston.
touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it up. On the return, here comes Corum. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. Here's a handoff to Williams. Past the 45. Still going. And he is gone. 75 yards. Touchdown, Rams. Well, that's a way to start a drive. He takes it all the way to the house. I don't know what they were talking about on the last series, but they've come out on this series, Greg, with the right answer for the touchdown.
And, Mike, the reason a lot of teams start off drives with the run plays to allow themselves to operate ahead of the chains. Well, not this guy. He found the alley, he took it, and he's off to the races for 6.
So following the score, here's Evans to send it away. Here's Smith to return it. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Go. White, Tony. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Stroud. To the right side, and Kurt's got it. And he's out of bounds on the pass play, but that's good for 8 yards.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules, and the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to, what they call, punch and pivot and stop. That tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38.
On the quick, right? 118. What's that? Let the hot.
Here's Stroud. We'll get that into the hands of Woody Marks. And he'll be out of bounds here, and it's only a gain of a yard.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders had different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
118. 19 Texas.
Stroud to throw. He's got his tight end. It's Schultz. First time they've looked his way all game long. He comes through with the grabs and the first down.
So this is a part of the game that everybody works on. Like, they call it 4-minute offense. You don't necessarily have to have 4 minutes on the clock, but the whole idea is we possess the ball late in the 4th quarter with the lead. The goal is we want to end the game with the ball. So that 3rd down conversion is going to go a long way. Protect the ball, continue to pick up first downs. They do that. I don't even think their opponent sees the ball again.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Once again, it's Marks. This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the
Try again. It's 2nd and 10.
At the Rams' 38-yard line.
On play action. Stroud. To the left side. Caught by Schultz. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. His 2nd catch of the drive. This one good for 15 and a first down.
3-yard line.
play action. He'll set up to throw. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up second down.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
We'll try the right side with Marks. He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Going to lose a yard.
You know, at this point, the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air on third down? Or do they play it safe and keep running the clock by keeping the ball on the ground?
And they finally get him down, but not before he brings it to the 4-yard line.
It's a gain of 21 yards. And the Texans first down.
Here's the run. And nothing developed there. He'll get back to the 5, and that's all.
The line of scrimmage. It's a loss of
Task a bit tougher as they face second and goal.
5-yard line.
Oh, hey.
They run on the jet sweep, and this is not going to work out as planned. Tough spot to try to run a play like that. It is blown up behind the line.
A loss of 2 on the play.
Last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
19 Texans. 11.
They'll run with Marks. Oh, and a rookie puts it on the deck. It's a fumble.
Oh, my goodness, Mike, what a mistake. Late in the game, you're protecting the lead. That can't happen. You know they're going to be raking at the ball. You know they are desperate to create a turnover. Just somehow he doesn't put the ball away, and this game just got a lot more interesting.
This is going to be a Rams first down as the tackle is made at the 23-yard line.
18 yards on the play. That's good.
They'll drop to throw.
First down.
Open man downfield is Smith. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. That's a pickup of 33. The defense bewildered. A rough start for this drive. Williams. And he'll get about 5. Here comes second down. Shotgun snap to Stafford. Good work there defensively. Knocked it away, and that pass falls incomplete.
In these critical moments in the game, like, you always turn to your best players. And that's exactly what they did here, and they just weren't able to connect. Give this defense a lot of credit. They knew when it was crunch time, where did this quarterback want to look? And they were ready, and they took him away.
He's got a man. That's Nakua. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds. Down at the 20.
19 yards.
Stafford on target to Puka. And the Rams have a first down.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
In the red zone now. He'll drop to throw. That's caught by Smith on the right side. And he's close to another first down. He's brought down just shy of the marker.
It's second and inches. At the 10-yard
On the ground, Williams. And he'll fight forward. Doesn't get a hold up, but he got what he needed. It is first and goal coming up.
First down.
The shotgun, it's Stafford. Oh, the pressure too much. He goes down. Now, second and goal. From the gun, here's Stafford. That is incomplete, so the task gets more difficult. Time for maybe 2 plays. That's it.
Great job there defensively, separating the man from the ball. And this is the moments in the game where you need your best players to step up. And this guy's showing what he's capable of doing in the game's critical moment.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. That one broken up. It is incomplete. His defensive secondary, they have been really a no-fly zone all game long. It continues here and brings up 4th down.
lady!
The Texans going to go ahead and use their first timeout here as they'll discuss what's to come as fourth downs looming. One last throw here for Stafford. That's going to be caught. And he'll be taken down, and that is going to do it. Oh, the comeback falls short. Time runs out, and this game is over. So it's a win here for the Texans. They use a little home cooking here. They play a complete football game, and are going to send their fans home quite happy. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say, so long from Houston.
That's all anybody's ever said about me. And yeah, I like to cut loose, too. You might think I chose this way of living now, but it chose me. You can hear me coming with a 6-2 humming. Guns N' Roses bumping through a 12 in the floor. I don't need nothing but a spot out in the country. I smile when they say that I ain't me anymore. Ain't a thing changed around here but the money. You try to mix it up, but let me tell you something. Same my Dixie, same rowdy bunch with me. I'll be laid up in the dirt before you ever take it from me. So take the boy out the truck, take the boy out the mud, put him up in a PJ, he'll still try to get them 40 stuck. So line him up, turn it up and keep it running. Say whatever you want, but I'm anything but new to country. Without a doubt, I've been around. Yeah, everybody knows my name when I show up now. And I've been from New York to LA and every place in between, but they don't do it like we do it in my hometown. Ain't a thing changed around here but the money. You try to mix it up, but let me tell you something. Same my Dixie, same rowdy bunch with me. I'll be laid up in the dirt before you ever take it from me. So take the boy out the truck, take the boy out the mud, put him up in a PJ, he'll still try to get them 40 stuck. So line them up, turn it up and keep it running. Say whatever you want, but I'm anything but new to country. Ain't a thing changed around here but the money. You try to mix it up, but let me tell you something. Same my Dixie, same rowdy bunch with me. I'll be laid up in the dirt before you ever take it from me. So take the boy out the truck, take the boy out the mud, put him up in a PJ, he'll still try to get them 40 stuck.
We have a perfect day for football. The roof is open, in fact, here at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis.
Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Just about set for football. Blake Grupe is ready to get us started. And off we go on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They go play action now. Jackson on the RPO. He'll keep it himself. Solid stiff arm. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. They work now on 2nd and 9.
At the Colts 48-yard line.
Again, it's Henry. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Jackson going to keep it. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10.
Ready.
Throwing is Jackson. Throwing out left and finding Likely. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts' 15-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
37-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Here's Rivers. Left sideline, a dime, and it looks like he's got it. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Hey, did you have one of those backyards that you had one of those mats or pits like you have for high jumpers? And, you know, you had your friends throw the ball and you tried to make the spectacular catches?
I didn't need a mat.
you just did it with the ground?
Absolutely.
That explains your toughness. That explains your toughness right there. Because I think that guy was raised just like you. What a catch.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
At the 22-yard line.
Here we go. 70 line.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got him.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
Now Rivers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Josh Downs, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Blake Grupe now for the extra point. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Now with that, they could elect to take the ball at the 1 if they want it.
Yeah, exactly right. They have options here. If they decide now to go for 2 after the penalty, the ball doesn't go to the 2-yard line as normal. They get the penalty, so that's half the distance. You put it at the 1. But if they decided they wanted to kick, they would just move the ball from the 15 to the 10, and they would kick it there.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
Alpha, sit on. 180. Sit on.
They'll try the right side with Henry. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Here's Jackson. Well, this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. Contact, popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Colts are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the... And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Jonathan Taylor. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, 91 yards. And the Colts have taken the lead. Well, from back where that one started. They were hoping probably for just a few yards on the ground there. Instead, they get 90-plus and into the end zone.
And as much credit as I have to give the guys on offense, I often think when I see a run of that magnitude that there has to have been a mistake made, maybe even multiple mistakes on defense, because you're expecting them to run the ball from that stage of the field. Instead, it turns into one of the longest runs that we're going to see in the NFL.
After the touchdown, here's Grupe to kick this one away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Now Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Oh, that was a bit of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
The ball didn't work very well on that play. Defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Buddy Johnson there on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Now it's Jackson. On target to his man, Likely. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the 1st down marker.
It's 4th down.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the 1st half. Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they've got a little over 40 seconds to work with if they want to try to put something together. They hold him only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them. Maybe it'll slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
And the pursuit that time was absolutely top-notch. He was looking to try and turn upfield somewhere. Kept trying to find a place. Somewhere never showed up.
19, Tiger, 19.
Rivers from the gun on third down. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
10 at the 25-yard line.
70 Lions.
To throw, Rivers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
Now this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
20! Touchdown, Indianapolis! Jonathan Taylor with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. But that run going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs.
And now the Ravens get it. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. Before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it's really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman, 65 yards. And the Ravens have got it back to within a score. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is down to 2. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes it's not really true, but that's going to be taken in by Downs.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Josh Downs, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, the action just coming fast and furious right now. If you got up to go get a drink from the fridge, you picked the wrong time. 2 long touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's how you answer a one-play drive with a one-play drive of your own. And you're exactly right. If you step away from the action, my dad took me to a Major League Baseball game when I was 8. I needed to go to the bathroom. Of course, while we're in the bathroom, grand slam home run.
Well, it tends to happen that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, my dad still hasn't forgiven me.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they try to make it a 2-score game with a conversion. It pays off.
And they've looked at the situation, figured it out well. A 2-score game in this situation, they've got to feel much better about where they are.
And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Charles, this offense, they've been on a roll. 2 drives ago they scored. Remember, last drive was that one-play touchdown strike, so now they're looking to make it 3 for 3.
You know, I talked to a Hall of Famer one time about, hey, when you're on defense and these types of things are happening to you, what goes through your mind? And he told me at that point, it's not about schemes. It's not about what's called from the sideline. It's about players. Who's going to make a play, make a stand, and stop this offense from...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry, 42 yards.
And the Ravens have cut it back within a score. On his loop for the extra point.
And the lead is down to a field goal now.
Makes the score, Colts 31, Ravens 28.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
Rivers and the Colts going to come up 1st and 10
at the 41-yard line.
Let's go.
They'll start with a give to Taylor.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Rivers.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bottling him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. They'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
And they'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now.
62 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6.
Return.
Inside handoff here to Ricard.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
The short one there, caught by Likely. And he will have a Ravens first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. So now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. On the counter, it's Henry. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10. Jackson. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked by Cameron Bynum.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Colts TD.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
Groupie for the extra point.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. He will score. Touchdown, Ravens. And that big 4th quarter return, Charles, makes this a 1-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had the big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Here we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Wester on the return. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And they have to try and move past that pick six because now they're dealing with a fourth-quarter deficit, and they need this drive to end in points. And he'll powers. Way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
Penalty accepted, and that pushes him back 5. Another try, 2nd and 10 now. To throw is Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Henry up the middle. Down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Down to the 25.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that point.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Jackson going to keep it. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
2nd and 6 coming up.
2nd and 6 at the 17-yard line.
Henry out of the pistol. He will push his way down to about the 14.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Now Jackson. That is caught. And the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Now 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Jackson to throw.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Jackson going to keep it.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now there's the timeout. Signal for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. And this one is right through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
So it's the Ravens who won the toss. They'll get the football first here in overtime as the kick is away.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. He dumps it off for Henry.
And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25.
A huge play there in overtime. 41 yards.
Well, that certainly changes things here because they're in field goal range already, but a field goal, that's not what they're looking for now, not after that big play right here in overtime.
Jackson going to keep it. Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
A chance now to strike first in the overtime session and get a big leg up. 1st and goal.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Jackson. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
And this is a touchdown. Now, it's not over yet, but they draw first blood here in this overtime. Luke now for the extra point.
And they will take a 7-point lead now.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Draymond Jones. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
And that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long.
70 Lion. Trap 60.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Let's go. Cowboy Mustang 19. Dragon 60. Let's go.
Rivers to throw it.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down on what will be a big play there on 4th and long.
And how about that? In a game that's had just about everything, how's that for an answer? Remember, in the past, this game would be over already. But that's a huge play there to give him a fighting chance to go down and possibly tie this game.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd
Rivers.
At the 47-yard line.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on. Set.
Now Rivers. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout, but instead they need